Welcome, everyone. It is our honor to introduce to you Dr. Kaya Lewin, a professor of psychiatry at the University of California, San Francisco. Dr. Lewin's research centers around early life socio-emotional development, using interdisciplinary means to characterize adverse events during childhood and adolescence and their future psychopathological implications. Much of her work focuses on underrepresented and understudied child populations to create equal and diverse representation within science.
After completing her doctorate with the Harvard School of Public Health, Dr. Lewin performed a series of fellowships at UCSF, including one with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. At this foundation, she is now co-PI on a study investigating the socio-emotional impacts of the Flint water crisis on pediatric populations.
Dr. Lewin is also a co-scientific director on CANDLE, a longitudinal study on the cognitive and socio-emotional effects of early life adversity utilizing mother-child birth cohorts.
And an MPI on pathways, part of an NIH-funded cohort study looking at the impact of prenatal stressors, both chemical and non-chemical, on neurodevelopment in children.
Dr. Lewin's research has had a profound impact on the field of psychiatry, producing over 150 publications and recognized with a Career Development Award from the NIMH.
Without further ado, we now welcome Dr. Kaya Lewin to the podium.
It's so nice to be with you all again, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. Congratulations to all the inductees. I have participated in quite a few events over the last couple days, and I'm starting to feel like a much older person than I am, telling the same story over and over again. So I'm just going to start by apologizing for any repeats. So after talking with some of you about what you're thinking about, I actually thought I'd focus a little bit more on the times in my trajectory that were a bit trickier, a bit stickier, a bit tougher to navigate, because I think a lot of you may be struggling a little bit with next steps, and perhaps it looks a little bit easier from the outside. So when I started Trinity, I really wanted to go into psychology. I knew that. But I remember calling my parents, and I remember them being on the phone at the same time, which they never really were, but that's how it is in my memory. And kind of like unbidden, they just said, "Whatever you do, don't become a psychologist." And I was kind of taken aback by this. I didn't really understand what they were thinking about. And I think this is just a small lesson I want to share with you, which is that parents definitely have the best of intentions, but they may not always have their finger on the pulse. And actually, a career in psychology would have been a lovely career, and I would have definitely always been employed. But instead, I became medical school bound and found my way to behavioral neuroscience. And that was kind of a nice blend for me because it allowed me to meet medical school requirements, but also kind of had this understanding of the brain and the mind and behavior. And so it was a really perfect fit. It was a bit of an adjustment for me coming in at freshman year, and I didn't make the best choices all the time. I woke up to find that I was actually failing my physics class about midway through the semester, and I had one final left. And it was kind of a rude awakening. I wasn't really sure how it happened. And so I spent 2 weeks teaching myself physics. And then I took the final exam. And when the professor came by, he really didn't spend a lot of attention on me because, I was basically failing his class. He was like, "Who are you?" And so, I remember him bringing back my exam, and he kind of passed it to me, and he kind of gave me this look. He was like, this surprised look, And I think I got like a 98% on that exam and managed to pass the course, but sort of barely. So I wasn't always making the best choices, but that was a really kind of turning point for me to kind of get it together. And so from then on, things were kind of on track. And I had a really wonderful experience taking all kinds of courses, critical reading, feminist theory, and of course I was loving my neuroscience courses. And that was really the time of my brain really being on fire and just really being so excited about what I was learning. But then my father passed away my junior year, and that really set me quite adrift. I ended up traveling quite a bit after I graduated. And I look back on that time and kind of see the significance of it in my trajectory. It really widened my perspectives. It was a really important time for me to kind of see what the rest of the world was like. But at the time, it was actually incredibly uncertain, and I was very just sort of insecure about my path and where I was going to go from there. And so I was very lucky that my father's best friend, who also went to Trinity, Dave Alberts, who was a renowned oncologist and scientist, he actually passed away last year, was keeping tabs on me. And he called me up and essentially said, you can't really travel indefinitely, Kaya. I think we can do a little bit more with your potential. And that was a really pivotal moment for me. He brought me to his lab, and he really helped get me back on track. He helped me, he exposed me to a variety of courses. That's where I had my first epidemiology course. And from there, I went to the Harvard School of Public Health. And that actually really went fine. I was back in school. I was good at school. And, I enjoyed my coursework, and I had really great mentors. And then I applied for a very competitive fellowship. The students mentioned that, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Scholars Program. It was really leading edge. It was interdisciplinary. It was really everything I ever wanted to do. It had faculty both at UC Berkeley and UCSF. And I got in, and I was so excited. And I moved to San Francisco all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But that was when I caught a pretty bad case of imposter syndromeitis. People really were so accomplished there already. And I kind of felt behind. I mean, even though I was just starting my career, I looked around and I saw all of these people with all of these accomplishments. I think unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the success of the people around me at that time as reflecting positively on me, and that I was selected to be part of that group. I really saw it as evidence that I didn't belong because I didn't have some of those achievements. And I think this is actually how a lot of women and people of color feel early in their careers in STEM. I think there is a challenge of kind of feeling like you belong and that you have a voice in those spaces. And fortunately, over those years, I actually had a lot of resources to draw on, and I made use of them. I participated in faculty success programs. I actually worked with a writing coach for a while. And I'll just say that he has a really thriving business working with people at all the major research institutions. And it's because these issues really impact a lot of different people and are very common, even at some of the top places. And so these are things that we kind of all struggle with in our careers at some point. And they are things that we can get through with help and support. So eventually I got over it. I was able to develop into a person that felt like I belonged in these spaces, and it could be a leader in science, and that led me to some of this collaborative work that I'm doing. But it took some time, and it took some time being comfortable with the fact that I didn't always have it all figured out. And that rather than focusing on that piece, I learned how to focus on really focusing on what I was doing in the moment, and pushing forward and kind of learning as I went. And so just to offer another reflection on that time in my life, spending a lot of time worrying about what other people are doing is pretty distracting. It's not super helpful, and it's just kind of a waste of time. If you have a vision for what you want to do, by all means, take the steps you need to make that happen, but try not to fall into the trap of judging yourself against what someone else looks like on the outside. We all have unique life experiences that we bring to any given moment in our lives, and so it's important to honor that and also honor yourself by trusting your own inner authority and making good decisions for yourself. So you're all human beings, and so if it hasn't already, life is bound to throw you off sometimes. And I just want you to know that it happens to everyone, and when it does, it's okay if things don't go perfectly for a bit. The key thing is just not to get stuck for too long. Reach out to the people that care about you and use the resources that are available to you. And don't worry about what other people are doing. It really doesn't matter. Trust your inner authority and be kind to yourself. Thanks. While folks are coming up, I just want to say I would really love to stay for the entire ceremony, but I have to get myself to Boston, so I'm going to make a quick exit out of here. But it's really been wonderful to spend some time with you all, and have really appreciated being here and really grateful for this honor. Thank you.
I'd just like to take the chance to thank you for being here as part of today, and I want to welcome you as a full member in Ro Psi. If you'd like to sign our book, and maybe come around.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again.
Members of Ro Psi, candidates for initiation, and friends. We are here today for the purpose of initiating new members into Ro Psi, the National Neuroscience Honor Society. Ro Psi was founded in 2006 under the auspice of the Faculty for Undergraduate Neuroscience and through the joint efforts of faculty and students at Baldwin Wallace College, Baylor University, and Johns Hopkins University. There are currently 115 chapters of this rapidly growing society.
The aims of Ro Psi are to encourage professional interests and excellence in scholarship, particularly in neuroscience, award recognition to students who have achieved such excellence in scholarship, advance the discipline of neuroscience, encourage intellectual and social interaction between students, faculty, and professionals in neuroscience and related fields, promote career development in neuroscience and related fields, increase public awareness of neuroscience and its benefits for the individual and society, and encourage service to the community.
Scholarship is the most important qualification for membership in Ro Psi. This reflects the primarily intellectual purpose of science and higher education more generally. But a high grade point average alone does not demonstrate true scholarship, nor does the mastery of information and specialized knowledge. Ro Psi membership recognizes interdisciplinary scholarship and acknowledges these persons as scholars who possess a depth of comprehension and a breadth of knowledge about the nervous system. Ro Psi honors these students who have a passion for knowledge, the world of ideas, and critical analysis. The true scholar realizes that education and knowledge are lifelong pursuits, and the true scholar never loses contact with the world of reality beyond the library or the laboratory. Knowledge should not exist in a vacuum. It should be shared to ennoble the world in which we live. Through a balanced integration of experiences, the scholar advances in both knowledge and wisdom in a way that benefits our community at large.
Ro Psi is the only nationally recognized honor society in the area of brain research. The study of the brain is one of the noblest of academic pursuits because a deep and true understanding of the principles by which the brain works contributes directly to the quality of our lives and the well-being of future generations. You have demonstrated, both by your interest in and commitment to this interdisciplinary study and by your high scholastic achievement, that you have the potential to excel as a neuroscientist and so deserve the honor of membership in Ro Psi. With this special honor comes the special obligation to advance the goals of the society which you have just heard.
The Greek letters of our honor society, Ro Psi, designate the study of neuroscience, the interdisciplinary science that engages our members in the study of the nervous system and is the unifying focus of this honor society. The Greek letter nu stands for the noun nous, meaning mind. The letter rho stands for the verb restri, meaning to cure. The letter psi stands for the noun psyche, meaning life.
Our lives will benefit from the study of the brain and the mind, with the ultimate goals of providing treatments and cures for the psychological and neurological disorders that plague humankind. The advancement of knowledge about the brain is the best hope we have for achieving this goal. The badge and insignia of this society is shown here.
You have earned membership in this illustrious society by attaining high standards of scholarship, not only in the interdisciplinary study of neuroscience, but also in your overall academic work as well. in accordance with the rigorous criteria set in forth in the National Constitution of New Ro Psi and by the bylaws of this Trinity College chapter. This honor can be obtained only in one way. It cannot be bought, nor can it be had as a gift. It must be earned by faithful, earnest toil, by serious application to studies, and persistent application in scholastic work. Your success in college has brought you this recognition. Congratulations.
Will the candidates for initiation in Neuro Psi please stand? Your eligibility for membership in Neuro Psi has been affirmed by Michael Poljang and the National Board. You are duly invited to a lifetime membership in both the National Organization of Neuro Psi and this Trinity College chapter. By accepting this honor, you signify your acceptance of and commitment to the ideals of high scholarship, integrity, and citizenship embodied in the goals, bylaws, and constitution of Neuro Psi. Please come forward as we call your name. Jude Altman.
Ella Baker. Seems like that's the stage to the next one.
Okay. Eva Bega.
Harrison Bogursky.
Jack Carr.
Tatum Constant.
Christopher de Leon Colmer.
Alenka Doyle, who could not be here today.
Abigail Etson.
Rachel Fearon.
Madeline Forbes.
Maggie Fuhrer.
Maria Gallo-Chicken.
Stella Garson.
Jacob Kaplan.
Neve Kastner.
Sam Kim.
Daphne Lasher.
Danny Lanoy.
Clara Lopez.
Annabelle Merkel.
Taylor Mikolajak.
Anna Milan.
Johnny Nien.
Orly Perez.
Ailey Ramsden.
Rebecca Strouch.
Julia Torrey, who could not make it today.
Camila Volkova.
Harriet Wagner.
Shayla Whitaker.
Thank you, and congratulations to all the inductees. We will now proceed to the induction ceremony for Psi Chi.
And just a quick reminder, if all the Neuro Psi members could stick around for a photograph afterwards, that would be fantastic.
Hello, good evening. My name is Lily Cummings-Danahy, and I am the elected student president for Psi Chi here at Trinity. Our purpose in meeting here today is to induct into Psi Chi our 19 new members who are earnest students in the field of psychology. We have carefully examined the records of these candidates and recommend them for induction because we believe they possess a vital interest in the science of psychology and show promise in the field. Inductees, you're about to be inducted into an organization that is international in scope, international in interest, and international in opportunities. Active members may attend regional and society annual psychology conventions. By your presence here tonight, you have indicated a desire to be instructed in the purpose and ideals of Psi Chi. If upon hearing these instructions, you still desire to join our fellowship, you will affirm your acceptance of the responsibilities of your membership verbally in a moment, and by signing the membership book. Actually, you will be signing 2 books tonight. The original was lost for many years, but then made a reappearance. So we'll make it extra official by having you sign the original and the stand-in. Before assuming membership in Psi Chi, we invite you to know the history and missions of the organization, its standards, and ideas. The mission of Psi Chi is recognizing and promoting excellence in the science and application of psychology. These aims are admirably summarized in the 2 Greek words, psyche and kairos. Psyche may suggest mind. Psyche may also suggest scholarship and enrichment of the mind. That this purpose shall be fulfilled, we have chosen as members those whose academic records are outstanding. If you are true to this ideal, and you will strive to bring credit to Psi Chi in your academic work. Yet, scholarship means more than the attainment of an honorable record. It demands that you not be content with merely adequate performance of the task required of you, but that you strive the real mastery of the subject to which you're devoting your mind. The test of this is within yourself. Be satisfied only with work well done, and finally, remember that true scholarship requires integrity. Kairos, meaning hands, stands for fellowship and research. Herein lies the real test of your interest in the field. The word has its origin in fruitful fellowship. It is the culmination of careful scholarship. It does not require expensive apparatus and elaborate techniques, although these are sometimes of value, but rather demands observation, logical thinking, and critical yet tolerant open-mindedness. If you follow these standards wherever you are and whatever your position, you will contribute your share to human progress. Our motto, Psyche Kairos, may be expressed in these words: cooperation in the investigation and cultivation of the mind. As future psychologists, you should acquire an attitude of tolerance towards those whose opinions of behaviors differ from your own. One of the most fundamental teachings of psychology is the fact that individuals differ. This means that they have varying interests and motives and that they strive for different goals. You may look upon your science as a developing effort to understand human nature. As you grow in perspective, you will become more dissatisfied with the incompleteness of your science. This will be an indication of maturity. With respect to your association with the local chapter of Psi Chi, members have the right to participate in programs and are encouraged to further the cause of psychology on campus, either by organizing activities independently or collaborating with other groups as well. You have heard the aims and ideals of Psi Chi. Do you, as students in the field of psychology, accept its standards and purposes as your own? If so, please say, I do. Thank you. And you have signified your acceptance of the conditions of membership offered to you. Will you, to the best of your ability, elevate and advance the science of psychology and its shares of knowledge and assist in the search for truth? If so, please say, I will. Thank you. Hearing your affirmations, I recommend these candidates because I believe they possess a vital interest in the science of psychology and show promise by their academic records and by the pledges just made. Our Vice President, Alex Goals, will now read off your names. Your signature of the membership book will be overseen by our Psi Chi event coordinator, Riley Brown, and will be evidence of your pledge. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. As I call your name, please enter the stage and sign both of our membership books. Stella Austin. We'll give her a second. Nora Brida. Fabiola Cabello. Brandon Felcher. Caitlin Giedra. Emily Gonzalez. That's the beta one. Ki Tae Wong. Hannah Kay. Alexandra Cutchins. Allison McDougall. Zainab Ozair. Betsy Orlando. Anastasia Prentice. Molly Raposa. Eve Reuter. Isha Shams. Hershika Shrestha. Owen Vegas. Samara Quintero. Beatrice Yu, who is studying abroad. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge the students who were inducted last year but were studying away during the induction ceremony. I invite you to come up and sign our books now. Alexa Macaulay. Noah McAkron. And myself, Alex Scholes. Thank you and congratulations to all the new Psi Chi inductees. Also, could all inductees stay until the end of the presentation for a photo? Thank you.
Mr. President and members of Beta Beta Beta, I present to you these candidates who declare their wish to join us in the Fellowship of Science as regular members of Beta Beta Beta. Give us 1 second. My apologies for that. I present to you these candidates who declare their wish to join us in the Fellowship of Science as regular members of Beta Beta Beta.
Are all qualified for regular and associate membership in Beta Beta Beta?
They are. All have signified a true interest in the biological sciences. They have met the requirements of the Chi Delta Alpha chapter and of the National Constitution of Beta Beta Beta.
Who are the candidates?
Alexa Zambrano, Timothy Callaghan, Alexandra Gomchevsky, William O'Halloran, Christopher Paluella, Aba Romerosa, Skylar Stewart, Catherine Tran, Abigail Spencer Walsh, Haley Washington, Michelle Wilson, Alexia Villanueva, Safira Yisrael.
Candidates, we will now explain to you the symbolism, history, and purposes of our society, and privileges and obligations of its members. While each of these fires may signify many things, many may each clear flame impress upon you our major objectives. First, to promote scholarship in the biological sciences. Second, to promote dissemination of the biological knowledge. And third, to encourage research.
Beta Beta Beta, the Honor Society in the Biological Sciences, was founded in 1922 by Dr. Frank G. Brooks. This, the Chi Delta Alpha chapter, is one of many chapters located in colleges and universities throughout the United States and Puerto Rico. It is this chapter that has chosen you to receive the honor and distinction of membership. You, in turn, accept an obligation to this chapter and to all other chapters. If you wish to join the perpetuation of the ideals of Beta Beta Beta, you will take the following pledge, which I shall first read completely and then in sections. I hereby affirm that I will strive to promote and perpetuate the spirit and idealism of Beta Beta Beta. I will be true to its interests, mindful of its honor, and will help to accomplish its objectives. I will discharge faithfully my obligations to Chi Delta Alpha chapter and to the society.
You have heard the pledge that you are to take. If you are willing to take it in good faith, repeat the phrases as the secretary gives them to you. The active members will rise and renew their pledge with you. So everybody's name that was just called, can you please rise for this and repeat the words? Sorry.
I hereby affirm that I will strive to promote and perpetuate the spirit and idealism of Beta Beta Beta. I will be true to its interests, mindful of its honor, and will help to accomplish its objectives. I will discharge faithfully my obligations to Chi Delta Alpha chapter and to the society.
Candidates, here are the key and the coat of arms of Beta Beta Beta. On the key, which is a common symbol of academic excellence, you see 3 Greek letters, Beta Beta Beta, and a coiled serpent. The first beta stands for the word balanos, which means acorn. It represents life in and on the ground. The second beta stands for the Greek word bouditase, which means little bird. It represents life in the air. The third beta stands for the Greek word boax, which means fish, and it represents life in the water. All 3 words may be summed up in the one word bios, meaning life. In addition to the meaning I have just given, Beta 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 also represents our 3 purposes: to promote scholarship in the biological sciences, to promote the dissemination of biological knowledge, to encourage research. The coiled serpent in the center of the key is an ancient symbol of wisdom. This is the coat of arms. It shows the acorn, the bird, and the fish, representing life on the ground, in the air, and in the water. The knight's helmet signifies that the scientist is always ready to apply his or her abilities for the benefit of mankind. The skull reminds us that science, although greater than the life of any individual, depends on the contributions of individual scholars. The 2 light quarters of the shield represent truths still unknown. The diagonal golden band symbolizes the light and truths of science. As on the key, the serpent stands for wisdom. The colors of the society are red and green, blood red for zoology and leaf green for botany. The flower on the red rose, symbol of beauty and strength. The motto is Blepen Basin Bu, which means to see the foundation of life.
Before you is the membership book of the Chi Delta Alpha chapter of Beta Beta Beta. As you sign, I shall give each of you your certificate of membership.
I will now list the names in order. Alexa Zambrano, Timothy Callaghan, Alexandra Gromchevsky, William O'Halloran, Christopher Paluella, Aba Romerosa, Skylar Stewart, Catherine Tran, Abigail Spencer Walsh, Haley Washington, Michelle Wilson, Alexia Villanueva, and finally, Safira Yisrael.
What'd you say? On behalf of Chi Delta Alpha Chapter and the Society, I welcome you to a full regular associate membership in Beta Beta Beta. Behind you are your fellow members. At this time, they will come forward. You don't have to do that, actually. But if you could stay after everyone that just received a certificate and members from before to take a picture, that would be great. All right, thank you.